What is the government? So government is a body which governs or administers, that is rules, a political unit such as a country or a state. Government also has the authority to make laws, settle disputes, maintain security, enforce public order and discipline. Government also provides and maintains public facilities like roads, supply of water, electricity and public transport. So let's see the types of government. First is totalitarian government. So monarchies, oligarchies, theocracies, dictatorships. These are usually the totalitarian regimes. In this totalitarian governments, the state of the monarch, he exercises the absolute control and regulates every aspect of the citizen's life. People do not have any control over making and implementation of the laws. Next is democratic government. So the US President Abraham Lincoln, he defined democracy as government of the people, by the people and for the people. In this image we can see the US President Abraham Lincoln. In democratic form of government, people elect their own representatives who in turn they govern the nation. And in democracy, people have all the power in the hands, which they express through either elections or public opinion. And in world, most of the democratic countries are republics. Democratic countries are also constitutional monarchies. Democracy can be of two types, direct democracy and indirect democracy. Let's study in detail about these two types of democracies. In direct democracy, this is the earliest democracy, and all the power lay in an assembly of all the people. These people chose to participate in the governance of the country. People framed the laws for themselves and had all the powers invested in these laws. Next is indirect democracy. So as the population of the country was increasing, country was growing bigger, people found that it was not possible for everyone to be directly involved in governing of the country. So then people elected representatives who would govern on their behalf. This is only known as indirect or representative democracy. History of democracy. Indian democracy history. So the king was elected by the people and he was advised by a Sabha and Samiti. Sabha means a council of important chiefs and Samiti means a gathering of all the men. Next is the Athenian democracy. So this is a system of direct democracy. The people did not elect representatives. They voted directly on the issues and the bills. Women and slaves were not allowed to vote. Next, let's see about the history of democracy in the early Rome. After 12 years of struggle between the ruling families and the rest of the population, ruling families known as patricians and rest of the population known as plebeians. So after the struggle, a series of laws were passed known as laws of the 12 tables, and these laws recognize the rights of the plebeians, that is rest of the population. England and the Magna Carta. So King of the England signed the Magna Carta in AD 1215. In the Magna Carta, King agreed to renounce certain rights and let his power restricted by the law. Magna Carta includes the right of habeas corpus, which gives the people the right to appeal if they are imprisoned without any cause. Next, let's see about the Europe and its Renaissance period. So Renaissance means a movement where the common people started questioning the control of the church and the control of the monarch over their lives, and they rediscovered the democratic principles of ancient Athens and Rome. So this is the European Renaissance movement. Age of Enlightenment, that was between 17th and 18th century AD. So during this age, the theory of modern democracy was formulated. The philosophers defined the essential elements of democracy and equality, fundamental rights, religious freedom, separation of church and state. These are the important elements of democracy. Around the year 1760 and 1790, the Americans developed the concept of republicanism. Republicanism is a political system which protects the liberty and believes in the equality and rule of the law. The United States Bill of Rights, it came into effect in the year 1791. French Revolution was a period of political and social upheaval in France, and during this revolution, the common people of the France, they overthrew the monarchy and formed a new government-based system on the principles of equality, liberty and fraternity. Let's see about the key elements of democracy. So modern democracy has important features which are enshrined in its constitution. First one is rule by the people. So democracy is a type of political system where people of the city or state choose the government through elections, regular, free and fair elections. During the elections, many representatives come from many competing parties. People decide who will represent them in the parliament. Justice and equality, they are the two pillars of democracy. Justice means to give each one what is due to him or her as a person. Next is equality. Equality is defined as every citizen is equal before the eyes of the law. So there shall not be any discrimination by means of caste, sex, religion and wealth. So to enjoy the equality, there should be justice. Guarantee of basic human rights to every citizen. What are the basic rights? The right to freedom of speech and action. So citizens can say and write what they think and feel without the fear of reprisal. Right to equality. It means all are equal in the eyes of the law. Right to freedom of religion. That means citizen can choose their own religion and practice the religion as they see fit. Right to freedom of information. Right to travel and settle anywhere in the country. Next is right to associate it with other people. The last one is the right to assemble freely and to protest against the government actions. Next is the rule of law. All the citizens are equal in the eyes of the law. No one may be arrested or imprisoned without any reason, and torture or ill treatment of the prisoners is forbidden. This is known as rule of law. Next is separation of power. So to ensure the smooth and impartial governance, democracies provide for the separation of three bodies of government. Three bodies of government are known as executive, legislature and the judiciary. So what is legislature? It is concerned with making of the laws. Legislature of the parliament, it is commonly called, and it consists of elected members of the government. Next is executive. Executive deals with the actual execution of the laws, and executive is a small but a powerful body of ministers who are drawn from the parliament. Next is judiciary. Judiciary enforces the law made by the legislature. The courts of the justice, they are fully independent of other branches of the government, and courts are expected to be fair and impartial in their judgments. Governance for the public good. So in a democracy, government mainly works for the good of the public. Participation of the citizens in politics and civic life. Success of the democracy always depends on citizens' participation, and this participation must be peaceful and respectful and tolerant of the different views of other groups and individuals as well. Limits and requirements for democracy. Every citizen must respect the rights of the other citizens, fellow citizens, and also their dignities as human beings.